All right, here we are. This is Crotch Lake in Frontenac. Sailing canoe Moana. Me and Scooter are heading out for a 4-day trip. Canoe sailing. Quick look at the boat. Aluminum rudder. Hardwood leeboard. Plywood outrigger. BSD sail. This will be the first time I've sailed this boat in this configuration, specifically with the outrigger, this particular outrigger. We are going that way. It looks like it's going to be a very fast beam reach. Not going to take us long to get to our campsite, so there's no rush. There's my nav set up there, a map in a waterproof case, and a Garmin GPS map 76CX with world base map. I looked into getting electronic charts for this lake, for this area. It would have been a couple $100, and I don't need charts that bad. That's almost the cost of the entire trip, so I will use my map. And that's it, we're sailing. Fantastic. Need to tighten up my steering a little bit. The outrigger doing its thing. Not going to need it in this wind, but it is supposed to get windier this weekend. Okay, that's my campsite right there, 69. It's pretty steep. I was hoping for a bit more of a beach, but I guess that's okay. I'll unload the gear and then drag the boat up. All right, we made it to our first campsite. It's not that late in the day, but I'm hungry. I haven't had lunch. And the wind was, when I left, it was downwind. So instead of coming straight here, I decided to go exploring. And then the wind shifted right into perfect headwind. So it increased the amount of time it took to get here. Oh, that reminds me, my GPS is still running. I should go turn it off. All right, the campsite. So there's a little picnic table, obviously homemade, and a very epic fire pit. Nice swimming rocks down there. More mosquitoes than I was hoping for. The boat down there. All right, better look at my camp now that I'm all set up. So here's the fire pit. Nice view. You can see a lot of the lake. Bright orange tent directly across. And then there is my chair and my gear barrel / coffee table. The tent all set up in the flattest place I could find, which isn't that flat. There are a lot of mosquitoes. It's May though. And then this table, I've got my power center on it so I can charge my phone and my cameras if I want to. And got my stove, which I probably won't use till morning to make coffee. And my water. Campsite. Just getting a little fire going so I can cook my steak. Pretty good view. I unfortunately did not bring very much interesting to drink. I brought a jug of water and Kool-Aid water flavoring. I did bring 2 flavors of Kool-Aid though. I brought orange and grape. But I kind of wish I'd brought something with some bubbles in it, like Perrier, bubbly, Aha, any of the above, Montpellier. All right. I guess if that's my biggest complaint, that's not a very big complaint. I brought this little grill to cook my steak with. I brought a steak for each night. 3 nights, 3 steaks. I also brought bacon. But oftentimes campsites have somebody leaves a grill behind, but not always. So I brought one, a small one, just in case. But this one does indeed have a grill. But that's okay. I brought my own. I think I am going to use this little picnic table to eat my steak. I was positive I packed a spork, but I can't find it. And this isn't the first time this has happened to me. So, knife and pliers it is. That's good. I've got pad thai I'm going to do. Pad thai noodles I'm doing later, but I figured I'd start with the steak because I was starving. I went a little bit overboard on the reading material. A bunch of magazines I brought. They're boating magazines, so I'm going to see if one of them's got any articles on canoe sailing. We'll see. All right, just doing up some backpackers pantry. This is freeze-dried food. This is chana masala. The steak was okay, but dog ate quite a bit. I gave quite a bit to the dog. All right, then let's see how this chana masala looks. It looks good. It smells good too. All right. I don't think I'll be giving half of this to the dog. Using homemade chopsticks. My spork still hasn't turned up. I know I packed it. It's here somewhere. There's the missing spork. I did pack it. I was putting up, going to put up my tarp because it's supposed to start raining overnight, and I had my spork in with my tools. So I'm going to put my spork in with my stove instead, and with my pots and cooking supplies. That's a better place. All right, it's supposed to get some rain tonight, so I've put up tarp to make things a little more comfortable in the morning. The tarp is actually the fly off my Amazon hammock tent. Boy, look at that view. The fly off my Amazon hammock tent, which I did not bring on this trip because I couldn't put the dog in a hammock tent. But that tarp gives pretty good coverage, and then I've got the vestibule on the tent to keep some of the gear dry that doesn't go in the tent, and then for all the food and cooking stuff, then I've got the gear barrel, and that'll be, of course, stored away from the tent up in a tree. Okay. Well, I haven't seen any signs of bear activity or anything like that, but I thought that being on the mainland, I thought I'd hang the food anyway in it from a tree. If I was on an island, I'm not sure I'd bother, but you know. There's the boat there, sails down. It's pulled up, tied to a stump. Actually, it looks like that's what that stump is probably for. All right, that's pretty much sunset. I'm gonna head off to the tent. The mosquitoes are pretty bad, although I am up on this hill, which helps, and there's a bit of a breeze. But it's time to head in. I have moved all my gear that I don't want to get wet, either under the tarp or under the vestibule or into the tent. Because it's supposed to rain. It's supposed to rain a lot. And it might get windy too. See how it goes. That's it. All right. It's kind of the situation in the tent. Of course, the dog took the center of the mattress, so we're gonna have to talk about that. A bunch of mosquitoes got in while we were getting in, of course, but it's fairly spacious in here. I can sit upright and I can continue to read if I have trouble falling asleep. And there's an overhead lantern, a sleeping bag, air mattress, using dry bags full of clothes for pillows. Dog's head's in the way. I got my canoe paddle and whatnot in here with me. Okay.